let's talk about something I've been obsessing over lately. How classy people just move differently through life. Like they've got this calm, unbothered energy that makes them seem like they've figured out some secret shortcut to being effortlessly cool. Meanwhile, I'm over here panicking because I just sent an email to the client without the attachment. Again, professional queen? Oh, absolutely. Just not this one. But seriously, I've been watching these people. You know the type. Always poised, always composed, like they've got a library of self-help books just stored in their soul. And I noticed they handle certain situations in ways that made me go, wait, that's a move I need in my life. So today, I'm spilling the tea on 5 situations where classy people react totally differently, and how we can all steal a little of that energy for ourselves. Let's get into it. Number 1, when they're criticized. Okay, so imagine this. You're at work, and your boss gives you some constructive feedback, which, let's be real, usually feels less constructive and more like getting whacked in the face with a wet towel. Your first instinct? Defensiveness. Maybe you're like me and immediately start running through a mental slideshow of every single thing you've ever done right at that job just to soothe your bruised ego. But classy people? Nope. They don't spiral. They don't roll their eyes or send passive-aggressive emails at 3 a.m. Again, not me. Instead, they take a breath, like a real intentional breath, and then they say, thank you for the feedback. Period. Not, thank you, but not, thank you. I just think you misunderstood. Just, thank you. The first time I tried this, my brain practically short-circuited. But here's the thing. When you respond like that, you stay in control. You don't give anyone the satisfaction of seeing you flinch. Plus, people respect you so much more when you're chill about criticism. It's like this Jedi mind trick where they're suddenly like, wow, she's so professional. Meanwhile, you're internally screaming, fake it till you make it. Before we continue, welcome to Manners Matters. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more tips on refined living, class, and elegance. Join our community and elevate your lifestyle. Number 2, when things go wrong in public. Oh, this one. You know that moment when you trip over nothing in the middle of a crowded room and your whole life flashes before your eyes? Like, great, this is how it ends. Me, sprawled on the floor of a Starbucks with my oat milk latte leaking into my tote bag. Classy people have a magic trick for this kind of situation. They laugh. Not a nervous laugh or that, ha-ha, please don't look at me, laugh we all do. No, they laugh like they're genuinely amused, like falling in public is just another quirky chapter in their memoir. They make a joke, they brush it off, and they keep it moving. One time, I saw a woman spill an entire glass of red wine on herself at a wedding, and instead of panicking, she stood up, grabbed a napkin, and went, well, looks like I've finally become modern art. And everyone laughed with her, not at her. Meanwhile, if that were me, I'd be frantically Googling how to disappear forever under the table. But honestly, it's all about owning the moment. Confidence makes even your messiest moments look intentional. Number 3, when someone's being rude. Okay, we've all been there. Stuck in a conversation with someone who's clearly determined to ruin your day. Maybe it's the customer service rep who's channeling their inner Bond villain, or that one coworker who insists on making every meeting a passive-aggressive showdown. You know the type. Now, my instinct in these moments is usually one of 2 things. 1, matching their energy, because apparently I think I'm in a reality TV show, or 2, doing that thing where I replay the conversation in my head later and come up with a killer comeback. Too late to actually use it. But classy people? Oh, they're built differently. They don't engage in the drama. They don't rise to the bait. Instead, they maintain this almost eerie calmness and hit you with phrases like, I'm sorry you feel that way, or, that's an interesting perspective. It's the verbal equivalent of holding up a mirror. Completely disarming, but not aggressive. It's basically how I imagine an emotionally intelligent ninja would fight. Here's the kicker. When you don't give rude people the reaction they're fishing for, they lose all their power. It's like popping a balloon. And honestly, watching that happen feels so much better than arguing with them. Number 4, when they're overwhelmed. All right, confession time. I am not good at hiding it when I'm overwhelmed. If I've got too much on my plate, everyone within a 10-mile radius knows. Because I start doing this thing where I sigh dramatically like I'm auditioning for a soap opera. Oh, my gosh. I just have so much to do. You get the picture. Classy people? You'd never know they're overwhelmed unless they told you. They don't panic text their group chat with, I'm dying. Instead, they focus on what they can control. They pause, take stock, and do this magical thing where they prioritize. Sometimes they even delegate or gasp. They just say no. Imagine that, saying no without spiraling into a guilt-ridden existential crisis. Revolutionary. I'm still working on it. Here's what really got me thinking. Classy people understand that being overwhelmed is often less about the actual workload and more about how you approach it. They don't try to tackle 50 things at once while also scrolling Instagram to de-stress. They don't let the chaos consume them. They take a step back and say, all right, what can I realistically do right now? What needs to get done today? And what can wait? And let me tell you, when I first saw someone handle their stress like that, I was in awe. Like, they were facing the same kind of madness I was, but they were calm, sipping tea, and working through their to-do list like it was just another Wednesday. Meanwhile, I'm over here dramatically whispering, I can't do this to my dog. Big difference. The other day, I decided to give this whole classy under pressure thing a shot. I was juggling 3 work projects, a family event that involved me remembering way too many tiny details, and chasing down a plain pink, no logo, no picture shirt for a kid's performance. Mind you, this was for a child who, by the way, doesn't even like pink. I don't know why schools come up with these oddly specific requirements, but there I was, standing in the middle of a store, staring at a pile of shirts, on the verge of losing it. Normally, this is the part where I would have spiraled, maybe shed a single dramatic tear in the parking lot for good measure, but instead, I paused. I literally stopped myself, took a deep breath, which felt weirdly cliché but actually helped, and asked, okay, what's actually urgent here? Spoiler alert. The world didn't end when I pushed a couple of things to next week. The Earth didn't spin off its axis because I chose to focus on the 3 most immediate priorities, instead of trying to conquer everything in one day. So here's the moral of the story. When you're overwhelmed, stop and get real with yourself. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to be perfect. And you definitely don't need to have an emotional breakdown in the frozen food aisle because your brain is convinced you're failing at life. Take a cue from the classy people. Step back, breathe, and focus on what matters most. Number 5, when they're celebrating someone else. This one hit me hard. Because honestly, sometimes it's tough to celebrate other people when you're stuck in your own comparison spiral. Like, someone tells you they got a promotion, and instead of being genuinely happy for them, you're mentally listing all the reasons why you haven't gotten promoted yet. It's not cute, but it's human, right? Classy people, though, they don't do this. When someone shares good news, they go all in with the excitement. They hype you up like it's their full-time job. They say things like, you worked so hard for this. I'm so proud of you. And here's the wild part. They mean it. They're not secretly tallying up their own achievements in the background. Instead, they make you feel like the main character. And honestly, it's contagious. You walk away from the conversation thinking, wow, they actually care. I think it's because classy people understand that someone else's success doesn't take away from their own. So, what's the secret? The common thread in all these situations is that classy people have this incredible ability to stay grounded. They don't let other people's bad vibes or even their own mistakes throw them off course. They focus on what they can control, they respond with grace, and they own their moments. Good, bad, and everything in between. And look, I'm not saying you need to transform into some perfect, unflappable beacon of elegance overnight. Trust me. I still have my moments, like the other day when I accidentally told the barista to have a nice weekend on a Tuesday. Why? I have no idea. But even then, I laughed it off and kept it moving. That's the vibe we're going for here. So, the next time you're in one of these situations, channel your inner classy person. Take the breath, own the moment, and remember, you've got this. All right, that's all I've got for you today. If this resonated with you, drop a comment and tell me which of these you're going to try first. And hey, if you've got any tips for looking classy while eating spaghetti, send those my way too. We're all in this together. If this video gave you a fresh perspective, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you never miss out on our latest insights. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And remember, stay classy, manners matters.